Hello, welcome back to Over the Line Football. I'm Harry, on the right of me is Jamie, and today we're going to be breaking down what yesterday's 0-0 draw between Manchester United and Liverpool means for the title race. First of all, before we get into the main part of the video, we just want to say a massive thank you for all the support we got on the first video. We always knew our friends were gonna share it and stuff like that, and we're really grateful for that. But any other person who's watched it, even watched it for 2 minutes, we appreciate it. It's a big transition for us. It's a big step for us. And basically, we just appreciate the support.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't think we'd get that many views or anything like that, really, because you're fucking get like 5 subs or something on any of our mates, really. So it's really helped that you guys have really done it, really. So hopefully you can.
And we're only going to get better.
Yeah.
Like it's very new, the whole video editing process to us. Hopefully, if everything goes smoothly, we've added in an angle here on me and an angle here on Jamie. So hopefully, if everything goes to plan, we've kind of upgraded a tiny bit, but it'll only get better and the content hopefully will get better. But yeah, let's get right into the video today.
So first of all, Liverpool versus Man United, 0-0 draw. 2 points dropped for Liverpool perhaps, or 1 point gained. Would you say both, or would you say it's more?
I don't know. The run Liverpool are on at the moment is probably 2 points dropped in terms of what they wanted. They've got an incredible unbeaten home record. Obviously that stayed intact, but I just don't think they performed how they can perform yesterday. I thought Man United, in terms of the overall kind of big chances in the game, had the better ones. Yeah. So in the grand scheme of things, it's probably 1 point gained. They had no centre halves fit.
You say centre half, but Fabinho felt like to me that he'd been centre half all the years. I mean, Henderson, you can obviously tell he's not a centre half. I mean, some position he was there was a bit of a chunky gap sometimes. But Fabinho, the last minute ditch tackle, like the 65th minute, where he's blocked that one and that kind of stuff. But really, the fact that I think Liverpool need to get someone in, I think, in January, just to make sure, because Wijnaldum's going to be off soon as well. We know this, don't we?
We talked about that last week. Yeah, it could be off, yeah.
Really, if Wijnaldum gets injured, then you've got a big gap in the middle. Because Thiago, luckily, just come back, so that's why I think Henderson's dropped in fine to that centre-half position. But if the fact he doesn't trust this Nathan Phillips or Reece Williams at centre-half really proves that you will need a centre half, Liverpool. So yeah,
I think they can get away. They can get away with playing like Nat Phillips and that in the kind of smaller games. But in these big games, they need. I mean, they're missing obviously Virgil van Dijk and Joe Gomez massively. I agree with
Matip also. It just proves 3 centre halves are all out there. Gone. So obviously, I think Matip being there for the next game. I think Liverpool have.
Yeah, I assume so. But I agree. Fabinho was outstanding yesterday. He's such an intelligent player, and I think he took a couple of months to settle in at Liverpool and didn't really. But since he's got that spot in it, and I mean, I was speaking to people the other day, and they were saying that if anything, they missed his presence in midfield. Like he's fantastic in centre half, but not having his presence there didn't allow for the creative players that they had in midfield, like Thiago, to go on and create as much as they did. Like I thought Thiago had a solid game yesterday. I thought he was good.
Playing the Kante role. Kante playing for all these years for Chelsea and Liverpool. Chelsea and Leicester for the past 5 years. He's been playing that role for Liverpool, and he's making those spaces. So the Wijnaldums, like you said, then can make those runs for the midfield, and that basically creates more chance for Liverpool, which they've not been scoring because they had no one really make those runs. Which we're going to talk about that now.
Yeah, I was going to say
what's happened to those front three.
I mean, what has happened to the front three? They've been awful, haven't they, for the past couple of weeks? And I mean, Mane and Salah in particular are two of the best players in the league, if not in kind of European football. So is it just kind of an off couple of weeks, or?
I feel like, I know a lot on that game, the front three was switching a lot as well. I mean, to be fair, I think Shaqiri played better than all three of them, to be fair. I thought Shaqiri did really well.
Played his centre midfield role, a bit different.
Well, he started on the right wing, he did Shaqiri, and then moved into the middle, because then I think Salah moved into the right, and then he put Shaqiri back into the middle and put Firmino up straight for the middle then, because at the start of the game, Salah was through the middle on top on his own, and put Shaqiri on the right. But as I said, they was constantly switching, which is fair enough, but then you weren't really getting the ball that much. They have the ball and they just go back to centre half to Fabinho and Henderson, so I think they had the most touches in the game as well, Henderson and Fabinho.
Fabinho, yeah.
Yeah, nothing really much to do, just pass the ball backwards and sideways, that's all they were doing. So nothing really springs to mind when they had a chance in that game either, if you think about it. I mean,
no, the long range effort from Thiago quite comfortably saved from David De Gea, but really, apart from that, there was Firmino in the first half. The shot was kind of straight at De Gea, but not big chances like United had, especially in the last 10 minutes.
No, I mean, the Pogba one after 65 was a very good chance. I mean, I know, obviously, even Graham Souness had said, do you know what, he actually did right in that position, which is
quite ironic.
But I mean, they've got a bit. Pogba's playing the right midfield. Look like he's been doing for the past couple of games. I know he's doing that. He's not a proper right midfielder, obviously, is he?
Yeah.
And he's getting chances instead of Salah and stuff like that. It really makes you think, well, something's going wrong there. Because I mean, Diego Jota, how big of a miss is he? Because you didn't think
Diego Jota's a massive.
You wouldn't think that the signing.
He had the impact he had.
Well, you wouldn't think. I thought when you signed him, Liverpool, I thought, just one of those players just in case, like
Shaqiri, exactly. I thought the same.
In those games, I mean, Liverpool haven't scored a lot amount of goals this season either. So, I think Jota's got a lot of their goals in those 1-0 wins. So I don't know why they've won 1-0, but I think they've won 1-0 a few occasions. Obviously now we know they've drawn 7 times this season as well. So in those
too
games,
many draws.
Yeah, too many draws.
At this moment in time, but they dropped down to 4th yesterday. But it means nothing. It means nothing. There is what did they say yesterday? It's 5 points separating top and like Chelsea in 6th or Everton in 6th. Everton in 6th.
I know. I mean,
crazy at the moment.
Everyone in about that area as well has got game rounds as well. I mean, Villa are down like 9th or something like that, got 3 games and everyone.
Yeah,
as well.
of course. So they've had the last.
Obviously, they've got Man City, aren't they, on Wednesday? Yeah. But I mean, if they win, I mean, end of the day, they beat Liverpool 7-2. You're not going. Anything can happen in this Premier League, can't it? So
of course,
that to happen, it wouldn't go surprise you if Villa actually get something at Etihad as well, just to really put a cat amongst the pigeons and make everything go crazy, really. But I think Liverpool shouldn't be worried yet. I mean, considering it is Man United, they didn't draw 1-1.
A lot of people missing too.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't draw 1-1 with Sheffield United, did they?
No.
They drawn 1-1 with West Brom instead, which is fair. West Brom beat Wolves, didn't they? So
yeah. Anyway, let's move on to Man United. A point at Anfield is normally never a bad thing, yeah, especially with their kind of run. But with the big chances they had yesterday, we've already spoke about Pogba's chance. Will they feel like they're a bit gutted they've not kind of took all 3 points in that one?
I think the fans look back on that, yeah, but I think Solskjaer realistically before the game, if you're going to go into that game, like you said, then at Anfield and say, come out with a point, I think, yeah, I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
But if it's a chance they had, it wouldn't surprise that they should have got the 3 points. But like I said, it's all about those behind the right players, not the right positions. Like Pogba having those chances there, he's not an out-and-out goal scorer. If you had like the Rashford there possibly instead, in that position where Pogba was, it's slotting into the bottom corner or not smacking it at Alisson.
Yeah, straight anywhere but straight at Alisson.
And they made Alisson look very good yesterday. Even though I'm not saying Alisson's not a great goalkeeper, but I'm saying a lot of chances yesterday for both goalkeepers are straight at the keepers. So I'm not saying not easy after that, as soon as the ball comes straight at you. But then it's easy to collect or bounce off you, basically get your body in the way instead of going to the bottom corners kind of thing. So,
well, one thing I kind of said yesterday is what I'd take as well, and I must admit I'm not Solskjaer's biggest fan. I'm not. But one thing I would give him credit for yesterday was in his post-match interview, he said it wasn't good enough in terms of we have to play better. He's kind of, instead of like being buzzing that, we've come to Anfield in the past couple of years, it impacted a lot of times and got battered. Yeah. Especially last season, they were kind of well beaten. Season before, obviously, when Mourinho got sacked. But instead of just going to draw, that's progress. We normally get battered at these places. He's gone, now we need to play better because we need to win these games. Yeah. I think he's right because United have been a bit more of flat track bullies this season. I think one thing they've struggled to do in the past is sometimes break down some of the smaller teams. Yeah, but this season they are picking up like points against teams that you think might, like Wolves at home. They got that last minute winner. Villa at home. It's always a hard task, and they beat them. So the only time they've struggled, I think, this season is big games. Have they won a big game this season? If not, they lost to Tottenham, drew with City, Liverpool. So I think what he's saying is they need to do better in these big games because they're title. They're like 6 pointers.
Yes,
specifically. Yeah. So I think I'd take that as a massive positive if I was a United fan personally.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we're not United fans, are we? But the fact is that you're right. They've got a point against the champions. What more can you ask for? Before the start, like I said, before the start of the game, you get told, I'm a United fan, and say you're going to draw this game with Liverpool. You go, yeah, that's fine. I only realised yesterday, it's Battle of this basically, the 100 games Klopp's had in charge at Anfield. Man United beaten once, Swansea beaten once, and Crystal Palace have won twice.
Wow.
So the 4 games that he's lost at Anfield, Klopp, twice have been Palace, once United.
Once yeah.
So it makes you think that how big of a coup that could have been for Man United.
Yeah, I think like if you saw that fixture before the season, like United fans would have took a point. But I think in the circumstances of the game, I can understand why Man United fans were frustrated that they've not got all 3 points from that. I would be if I was in that position.
But like you said as well in previous times, the defence for Man United. I mean, some of Man United fans were going ballistic. Eric Bailly wasn't starting for the game. Yeah. I
thought the centre half did a good game.
Right, but I thought Harry Maguire lost possession about 5 times in the first half, and a lot of times I think he passed the ball across like 25 yards out across the box, and then I think Mane pressed him, had a chance for a shot and got blocked, but he's not a ball playing centre half. Harry Maguire, and he's trying to make him a ball playing centre half. It's just not working.
And I've not seen Luke Shaw have a better game than he did yesterday against Salah. I was astounded how quiet he kept it. I mean, Salah had to try and swap wings to get away from Shaw, and even anyway. But it's just crazy because I don't think Luke Shaw's a particularly incredible player.
No, he's not. I mean, Alex Telles is a great player, and he's not getting in, and he makes you think what's going on. But fair play to Luke Shaw. He's come back and he's done well there. But I do think Man United's defence isn't up to scratch really. I mean, obviously De Gea can save 6 points. 6 points a season, I reckon De Gea can save Man United. But I think the defence is going to be losing them a bit of points, especially Maguire. But
what about how seriously do you kind of rate the title ambitions after yesterday? Then a point away the champions.
Top four, they'll get definitely Man United this season.
Oh yeah, they're definitely got top four. But
well, we say that. I mean, it's definitely top four.
Do you think the challenge for the league this year?
If they're playing like that against the lower league, I reckon if they play like that against any team below 10th, they'll win the game.
Right.
But if they play like that against any team above 10th, they'll get a draw or possibly nick a win out of it. So they're not playing that game to lose it, basically, is what I'm saying.
I think what can't be underestimated this season is the benefit of a winning run in terms of the title. There's no team look, City won yesterday, and we'll come on to City just briefly in a minute. Yeah. But that's 5 wins in a row for City in the league. That's the most anyone's ever managed this season. Yeah, which is crazy. Yeah. Considering in past seasons it's took 18 game winning runs to win the league. The importance of just winning 5 in a row, even if it's against 5 relegation fodder, points are being dropped by teams at the top all the time. So that could separate you come the end of the season. So I think a point at Anfield for United. I think United would be more happy with a point than Liverpool are. Yes. But in the context of the game, I think United felt like they could have took more with the chances that they had.
100%, yeah. But I said that I think they can go for the title if they want to. I reckon they'll be up there, but I still reckon they'll fall short because of the fact that the defence isn't. I don't think the defence is good enough for some of those teams in this division.
Well, let's go on to talk about the other contenders.
You can go top of the win the game and Man City 5 wins in 5, like you said.
Mm-hmm. I'd say there's 3 at the moment in time. There's City, Leicester, and Tottenham that are closest to challenging Liverpool and United in terms of the table. City have won 5 in a row, albeit they've not been against incredible. Chelsea away, of course, always a good result. One thing I'd say, coming from a City perspective, we've picked up points in games that we lost last season. So Southampton away, we lost, we won that. Chelsea away last season, we lost, we won that. We dropped 2 points at home to Palace last year, we won that quite convincingly yesterday. But again, City are still capable of dropping points just like any other team. Like they drew West Brom at home, they drew West Ham. It's just such a topsy-turvy league. But I think of all the clubs in the league at the moment, City look more likely to challenge United and Liverpool at that top because they seem to have found a settled side. They've got a settled back line who have conceded. I mean, Stones and Diaz as a partnership have played 10 together. Played 9 together, won all 9, and conceded 1 goal. Wow. And that was that Hudson and Doyle consolation goal in the 93rd minute of that Chelsea game. So I think it's fair to say that they've been the best defence so far this season, which is crazy to say after last season.
I think also as well, Man City have been, in the recent 5 games, been the most consistent team in the Premier League. The way they played, they constantly have the attacking threat, whilst Liverpool Man United we saw yesterday, that wasn't constant at all. It was all Liverpool had their back against the wall 15 minutes and Man United against the back against the wall 15 minutes. So it wasn't consistent like Man City, constant pressure all the time, every single game they're playing. Like in the Chelsea game, they maybe had a 15-minute patch in the first half in the Chelsea game, and apart from that, Man City just blew them away most of that game.
And even though they're missing a presence like Aguero, other players Gundogan scored 4 in 6 now. John Stones got a brace. What?
I mean, there's other players. Phil Foden's your top goal scorer this season.
Yeah, joint with Sterling now with that free kick. Yeah, but I think Pep will see that as a positive. That in the absence of a striker, I mean, Jesus hasn't played much this season as well. Other players are chipping in with goals, and that's what you need at this point of the season. Let's quickly talk about Leicester because we can't ignore Leicester. They're third in the table, 2 points off the top. They keep winning. They've won big games this season. Tottenham springs to mind as an impressive performance. I thought they were impressive against a very good Southampton side yesterday. The day before. I don't think you can ignore them when they've got players like Vardy and Maddison playing the way they are.
It's not just them two either. Like a Tielemans yesterday, he's got not yesterday, like you said a couple of days before. Tielemans is a very good player as well, and obviously Kasper Schmeichel made a lot. I think he's made his 500. I don't want to say it's wrong. I think it's 500 appearance for Leicester the other day, which the fact that if the players of that quality stay at that club as well makes you think that the club has something going. For one, I mean, at the end of the day, they've won the Premier League 4 years ago, and at a worse team than this.
Well, yeah, that's a question. Actually, I was going to ask you this question. Is the team that they've got now, obviously, they've lost Mahrez and Drinkwater, is the quality better now than it was in that title-winning squad?
I can't compare Harvey Barnes to Riyad Mahrez. I'm sorry. But, I mean...
overall, as a team.
Next year, I reckon Harvey Barnes could be a lot better. But I mean, he seems popping up with goals. You wouldn't think that, would you? So I mean, he's getting England squad as well, Harvey Barnes. But I mean, Maddison compared to. I don't know who was. There's no replay on that camera, was there? They
they had 4-4-2. They had Okazaki and Vardy up front with Drinkwater and Kante. Well, Kante's a different animal, isn't it?
Yeah, but I mean, and Didi.
They seem to kind of work well as a team, don't they? Are they capable of putting together a sort of run to go on and be Premier League champions, do you think?
I think they can do, yeah. But the problem with Leicester is they're not consistent.
Who did they lose to? Was it West Brom? No, West Brom. It was the team who couldn't score penalties, but then scored 2 in a game. Fulham, yeah.
That was it.
So they went on a decent run. They beat Tottenham and then they lost to Fulham.
But
so
it's
it's
like
about winning them games.
Man City. Man City are only really a consistent team. When like you said, the 5 in a row. The team to just win like 3 in a row and then lose 2. This is not going to work out. Like Liverpool have drawn 7 games this season. The past 2 seasons, you wouldn't have think of drawing 7 games and be challenging for the title still. Yeah. So I reckon they'll get top 4 as well. Leicester. I think it's just more. I think they'll be the 4th really, because I said I don't think they're consistent enough. I mean, the fact that they beat Man City at the start of the season, still like in that crazy game. I mean, the first 2 weeks of the season was absolutely ballistic with the Leicester, Man City, the Man United, Spurs, and the Aston Villa.
Tottenham, Man United as well.
Yeah, so like I said, Spurs, Man United, and Aston Villa.
Let's talk about Spurs finally. Let's run to Spurs because they're still up there.
They are.
They've dropped some silly points previously, but they seem to be kind of clicking back again. I'm such a big fan of Reguilon on the left. He's so good. I mean, it might just because City lack a left back that I just see any sort of left back that's sort of decent quality. But Reguilon has been fantastic. And Ndombele and Højbjerg have seemed to form some sort of partnership in central midfield.
Do you want to talk about Ndombele go yesterday as well?
Oh my god, that's ridiculous. The technique, the vision to do that. I mean, I didn't think he had it in him at all, so fair play to him. But he seemed to have turned his Spurs career around completely.
Oh, it has. I mean, I think, towards the end of last season, Mourinho was saying, I don't know why he's come to training, so he's not putting any effort in the stall. And then I think he's probably just kicked him into gear this. I think Spurs can challenge if they want to, but it's just silly results like the 1-1s, although like getting 0-0 like a
can the game against Liverpool next week kind of fire them in? I thought when they beat City at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, I thought that is kind of a signal of intent that they want to win the title. I think even more if they beat the champions next week, that'll be a bigger kind of statement. Yeah. So that is a big game. And I mean, we didn't even mention Chelsea and Leicester in midweek. If Leicester beat Chelsea, Tottenham beat Liverpool, that's them saying, look, we're sticking around here.
I know. Well, I think a prediction for that, I think Tottenham-Liverpool game is, I think Liverpool will win that game. But I think only just again, I think, unless Liverpool have something firing like Spurs can. I think Spurs are very dependent.
I think they both could be a draw.
I know. Well, I just think Spurs. Easy. I think Spurs are too dependent on Kane and Son. I mean, yesterday that goal and Ndombele goal was fair enough, but I think the goal Kane scored and Son got the corner for Aurier, so they're involved again in goals. So it's not as if they're not on the pitch. They're not going to be there, are they? But they've only won 3-1 against Sheffield United. I mean, Sheffield United 5 points this season. They've won 1 game this season, and they're letting them score in that kind of way as well. And I think they had a good 15-minute spell as well, Sheffield United. But it's just under Mourinho football, you're never ever sure what's going to happen, because under Mourinho you could be on the verge of looking at you can win 6-0 all of a sudden it's 1-1. So
anyway, who do you lot think is going to win the league? Who do you think is going to challenge? Let us know in the comments. Make sure you like and subscribe, and we will see you for a new video in a couple of days. See you later.